What's up, folks? Welcome back to Standard Living. We got a nice, beautiful, breezy day today. I can start to feel the heat coming, but I'm sure it'll be 100 degrees here soon. But we're back at the sawmill. Today, I'm not going to be doing much sawing. I got to work on this Bobcat. I don't know if you watched my last week's video, but this hub right here got loose on the Bobcat. I tightened it down, tightened it real good, and yesterday I was loading the customer up and I noticed it came loose again. I think the bolt on the inside of the Bobcat in the chain case actually came loose and the axle slid out, loosening this piece here. So I think this is not the problem. I need to loosen that back up, get the back end jacked up, pull the cab and get the plate off in the chain case and tighten that bolt up because there's a sprocket on the inside. I don't want that fall off. If it falls completely off, it could break the chain or something, and I don't want that to happen. So I cannot move this Bobcat. It's gonna sit right here until I get it fixed. So I can't load any logs on the sawmill yet. Not until that's fixed anyway, because I don't want a chance breaking anything. Parts too expensive for that thing, so. And I just put all new axle seals and bearings in it, and I don't want to mess those things up. So I got to get that fixed before I do any sawing today. I might not do any sawing today at all. But what I'm thinking about right now while it's cool, so I think I'm going to work on this shed right here. You know, priorities, right? I think when the weather's kind of nice, I think I'll go ahead and get my roof on this thing and get this wall up. First thing I got to do is get this wall together. I thought about tearing that wall down just because the amigos put that thing together, and they weren't that great at construction. I didn't build that myself. They used some scrap lumber around here when they didn't have anything to do. And I had to put this thing together, and it's kind of janky, but it'll work. It's just a saw sharpening shed. I'm gonna start building this wall. I'm gonna get this wall up, get the roof on here, and then start siding this thing. And I also need to put a front on here of some sort, some kind of front with a door. I don't know, I may put a door on the side and a big opening on the front with barn doors. I'm not sure. I haven't figured it out yet, but we're just building it as we go, and hopefully it comes out good. As long as we got a roof and a dry area, we can put our sharpening tools in, I think we'll be okay. But I wanna store some of the stuff out of here. The old Dodge is getting packed full of stuff. There's way too much stuff in here. I'll give you a glimpse of everything going on. I got old blades, gas tanks, saw tools, chainsaws. A passenger can't even get in here right now. I got blowers, nails, blades, saws, screws. This is my sawmill truck. It's a junk truck. But I'd love to get all that stuff out of here. And so I got, some seat in that thing. So I do use that around the property. And sometimes my kids want to get in there and ride around with me. And it sucks trying to move stuff out of the seat every time. But yeah, we need a place to store all that stuff. I didn't want to put it in the garage. And I need to get my sharpeners and stuff out of the garage and get it in here. So this will be a great place right here to put all this stuff. Get it out of the way. We do have some video cameras, security cameras we're going to be putting up down here because I don't want anybody to come down and we not know it and start digging through the shed, steal my chainsaws or whatever. So we're going to put some Wi-Fi security cameras down here, or some 4G cameras, whatever you want to call them. But first, we need a wall to put those on. I'm going to put it on this front corner here, looking at the whole sawmill in the area, so we can kind of see if anybody's down here messing with stuff. But that's our project for today. We're going to start working on this, get that going. When we get done with this, we're going to get done as far as we can with it. And then we're going to get on the Bobcat and get that thing fixed. So let's get to work. right, so I kind of got that wall up. Step back so you can see it. And it's built a little different, and I'll explain why. I built this one like I know how to build. I'm gonna put a little piece of blocking up there and then run my angle piece and blocking in between. I'm gonna have a 36-inch door right here. This side is different than the other side. Like I said, I didn't build that side. Some of my amigos building that side, and they didn't do a very good job of it. But we're gonna keep it like it is. We're just gonna, like I say, the angle is gonna match up, and it ain't gonna matter. It's just gonna be a wall anyway. I'm gonna have it all covered with siding and stuff, but gotta get this front wall built. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet, or how big of a door I'm gonna put on the front. I want the small side door, and I'll probably do like the barn, sliding barn door on the front here. And all this wood is super rough cut. None of it's to any kind of size or dimension. So it's not perfect, but it's a sharpening shed. So I'm not gonna complain about it. These are all different sizes. I use full 2x4s on the rest of that stuff back there. And this right here is 4-inch by 1.5 inch, most of it anyway. But it is what it is. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's not really gonna matter anyway. Once I cover this thing with siding, you won't know what's on the inside of it anyway. So I'm gonna be using some of my shake shingles or my Sawmill shingles on this thing, and some lap siding. So we're gonna put some lipstick on this pig, and no one will ever know how ugly it is on the inside. And I'm obviously not proficient in any kind of construction work, as it shows. That's not what I do, but I can build something and make it work. It may not be the spec or the code or whatever it's supposed to be, but hey, we got walls. I'm gonna use 2x6s for the rafters up there, and they're just gonna be like a lean-to style. I'll use 1 by whatever I have for the purlings. Throw 10 up there and get it dried in, where we can start bringing some equipment down here, getting it out of the garage and out of the truck, get this stuff hung up. I am gonna do the inside as well. I'm gonna do some 1x material, something on the inside. I don't know what yet. I might do some 1/2 inch, I don't know. Whatever I do, it's just gonna cover the walls, and I'll be able to mount stuff to it and hide the nails or screws and things like that. Yeah, it should work out pretty good. Now I'm gonna be doubling up these studs down here and there, and putting a little header across up here. And more than likely, I'm gonna cut that section right there out just so nobody trips over it, so I don't trip over it. I'm just building it one step at a time and designing as I go. I don't really have any kind of design or plans in mind, or I'm just building what I have here and making it work. So before you guys bash me in the comments, I'll tell you, I don't know what I'm doing. So if you say I'm doing it wrong, I probably am. Well, I need to cut some 16-foot 2x6s, but or 2x8s, whatever. But I can't right now. Winch is broke and the Bobcat's down. So I had these 1x6s laying around. They're 16-foot. They're kind of crappy looking anyway. But so I just tripled those up. Hopefully that'll be strong enough. I got all this leveled up, and I put this board up here. I'm going to put in some blocking across the top of that. I think this is better that I did it this way anyway on this side, because it's easy to square this door up. I just got to put a little header board up there. And like I said, I'm going to be doubling these studs up right here on the side of the doors. But I think it'll be plenty strong enough once I start putting siding on here. And I don't think this thing will be going anywhere anytime soon anyway. If we ever decide to move the sawmill away from here, I'll just use it for like a lawnmower shed or something. Maybe a chicken coop. We'll see. So now I just got to get some rafters for the roof. I really need to be cutting some on the sawmill. I got some small logs down there that need to be cut into 1x6s or 2x6s anyway. I may have some over there in that stuff. I got to go look. And they only need to be about 12.5 to 13 foot long. I'm gonna dig around in here and see what I got. I may have something in here. I got all these wide boards I cut the other day. I'm gonna use these for some of the siding. I'm gonna be doing lap and shingle siding on it. And I think what I'll do is use this to put the shingles on. I gotta get this sawmill up and going though, because I need wood to finish that out. Well, here's where we're at so far. Got that little header above the door and got some blocking up top. I think I need to run like a board all the way across this piece on the back side for those rafters to sit on. I think it'll sturdy it up anyway. Actually, I think that's got a little bit of bow to it as well. So it gave me a straight line across the back to match up with the front here. Not too shabby for not really knowing what the hell I'm doing. I think I'll leave that bottom board in just kind of as a threshold because I don't want snakes leaking into here. I don't want a surprise when I come in here with snakes everywhere. So I think I'll keep that in there so I can seal the door good. I was gonna cut it all the way out and just go down to the floor, but all right, check that out. That is cool. I'm out of shingles right now, but that's gonna look so good. That shingle jig, I need to cut some more. This is just the samples I was cutting, playing with. I got a lot more to cut because that little bit I had, it covered quite a bit, but I need quite a few more, especially to do this side over here as well. I was gonna go up halfway or about 4 foot up and put some trim and do like lap siding up the rest of the way up and shingles down on the bottom. I think that will look good too. But I really like the shingle look as well. I think the shingle look's gonna look really good on there. I don't know, this light's kind of weird, but look at that. And I spaced them 9. I got 9-inch spacing between. I'm thinking I should have went a little closer, but just didn't have a whole lot. I was trying to utilize what I had here. That's gonna look really good. I gotta get some more of these cut up. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Tell me what you think about that. They're pretty easy to split too. I've just been using a machete to split them up. I'm gonna have trim wrapped around these edges though, so you're not gonna see the edges that are kind of funky because I've got these little split pieces in here and in there. It worked out pretty good, but I'm still gonna, I'll have some edging around there, some trim around it. But yeah, that's gonna look super nice. I'm gonna do a bigger trim piece that comes around here and then overlaps all of this stuff right on the edge here. So, but yeah, that's gonna look cool. Yeah, I'm excited. That's gonna be pretty amazing when I get done with it. I still gotta go cut my rafters for this thing. I think what I'm gonna do in the morning is work on this Bobcat. I should have worked on it today and got it running, But I do need to cut some more boards right now. And I was doing some research on this Bobcat and looking at the axle and looking back at how it's designed. I think it's just this hub coming loose, because that thing's got a tapered hub. Hopefully the hub's not cracked, the reason it's coming loose. But I'm thinking it may not be the bolts inside with the gear, because even if it came loose, the whole axle and all will come out, not just the hub here getting loose. Because this thing tightens up on a taper, it should tighten all the way down and stay tight, regardless if that bolt inside comes loose or not. But in the morning, I'm gonna jack this up. I'm gonna get that tight again. I gotta bring my tools down, but I'm gonna tighten that down, get as tight as I can, and hopefully it'll stay where it's at. We probably will still jack the cab up just to check and make sure that inner bolt is not loosening up. I need to check them anyway. I want to check them to make sure none of them are loosening up, because it's one thing for these to get loose, but the inside, if that sprockets were to fall off, it could break the chain and screw something up in there. But yeah, we're gonna fix that in the morning, because we need that running. And another thing I gotta do is I gotta run to Harbor Freight and grab another winch. Actually, I keep saying that, but I need to look at this winch. I need to test it. I'm not 100% sure it's messed up, but we're gonna find out before we buy a new one. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited about that. That's gonna be pretty awesome. I really need to use something besides these screws. I'm afraid these screws are gonna split it. I'm just using one screw in each one, which I think is fine. But I need to get my brad nailer or stapler down here and tap them in with that. I think they'll be better. Be a lot faster anyway. But yeah, looks pretty good. I can't wait to get a rest on here. I may end up taking these top ones back off and just making that trim I was talking about. I may try it on this side and see what it looks like. But yeah, I want to do these shingles halfway up, or 4 foot up, and then the lap siding the rest of the way up with some trim in the middle between them. I think that'll look really cool. However, this looks really cool too. So I'm really undecided now. You tell me your thoughts. And I think the wall is going to be super solid with this heavy 1-inch yellow pine on here. Just 1x12s. That works pretty good. That was all my slab boards. I got a lot of that stuff to cut up, and I'll just line the entire wall with that. That way I've got a good solid surface to nail to. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. Sorry it's such a short video. I was kind of frustrated this morning with the Bobcat being broken and the winch being broke. So instead of cutting any lumber, I decided to work on the shed. I got to get this truck cleaned out and get my sharpeners and stuff in this shed, so we can start utilizing it and hanging up blades here out of the weather and stuff. So I'll probably be on and off this project here, and I'll make sure I record most of all of it. And hopefully tomorrow, maybe we can get that roof on there and kind of get it dried in where I can start moving stuff down here. But we really appreciate you joining us here and taking the time to watch our channel. If you haven't subscribed yet and you'd like to, go hit that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. It really helps the channel out. If you like this video, hit that like button, and we'll see you on the next one.